A second primary human need is for life to be meaningful and fun. All of us want our lives to count for something. We want to engage in activities that we judge to be meaningful, that touch our lives and the lives of others in a manner that makes a difference. And along the way, we want to experience moments of recreation, good humor, and fun. Unfortunately, for many children, school is one of the last places where those expectations are met. The main complaint that older kids lodge against school is that it is boring. For younger children, the complaint is often that the activities aren't fun. A teacher's job is one of the most difficult of all human endeavors. Not only must a successful teacher cover the classroom material and activities, he or she must strive to teach the material in a manner that is interesting or entertaining, and that retains the children's attention. She must also take children's attention span into consideration and plan for a frequent change of activities. Ms. Cortez had been teaching pre-K for years. Her approach to teaching children was to use the same techniques and exercises that she had used in her first year of teaching. Even she was bored by the lack of imagination and stimulation that characterized her classroom. Instead of sharing some interesting stories with pictures showing Mr. Blue, Mrs. Red, and Baby Yellow, she just showed the colors on flashcards and tried to get her students to memorize them. After several minutes of working with the kids on their colors, a big boy named George said, "I don't want to do this. This is not fun." Flustered by the rebellious comment, Miss Cortez told George to be quiet and pay attention. George then started talking loudly with children on either side of him. Miss Cortez moved George to a table at the back of the classroom, facing the wall, and told him to look at the set of flashcards and to memorize the colors. George started tapping a card against the table and saying over and over, "Miss Cortez, is it snack time?" His rebellious behavior was greeted by laughter from the other children. Frustrated, the teacher finally gave up and commanded all the children to spend the rest of the class period in silence. Miss Cortez felt discouraged and guilty over her inability to maintain classroom interest. Even though our lesson activities are more interesting than Miss Cortez's, and our methods of discipline are more effective than hers, haven't we all experienced some of those same feelings of discouragement and guilt? When children do not experience school as either meaningful or fun, they often resort to rebellion. While they may not be consciously aware of their own motivations, younger children engaged in rebellious behavior are intending to convey the message. This class is boring, and I'm going to create a little diversion and fun. Here's a tip-off for teachers in regard to what's going on. If a child's behavior makes the teacher feel guilty regarding her competence as a teacher, then the child's unmet need is for life to be meaningful and fun. And the child's way of filling that need is through rebellion. The nearly 12% of school-age children who are ADHD are particularly at risk for this misbehavior. The most effective means of curbing rebellious behavior is the tactic of prevention. First of all, teachers must pay careful attention to the manner in which the curriculum is taught so that students can come to view a lesson as being useful to them. When emphasis is placed upon relating the material to the lives of the students, the result is that children will be more motivated to learn the material. While imparting factual knowledge is necessary in order for students to perform well on standardized achievement tests, intentional efforts need to be made to present the information in a creative, interesting way. Rote memorization of throwaway information should be avoided whenever possible. Kids love activities where particular pieces of information can be seen as applicable to real-life situations in the world outside of the classroom. So, the first tactic in making a topic interesting and meaningful is to help children see that an activity will teach them something they want to learn. For example, learning the colors red, green, and yellow can be made interesting by showing pictures of traffic lights depicting those colors. The children can be told, "It's important to learn our colors so that we'll know when it's okay to walk across the street." Puzzles can depict interesting pictures that will delight the kids when the project is finished. The children can be told, "We're going to learn how to count to 10 so that we will know how many steps to take when we play the game Mother May I?" The second way to prevent rebellious behavior is for teachers to promote classroom conditions that are conducive to fun. Great teaching conveys the information in interesting and entertaining ways. A good sense of humor is helpful. However, while it is appropriate for a teacher to gently poke fun at himself, a cardinal rule is that humor should never be used at the expense of a child. Also, class field trips, games, and projects are important tools that can be used in making school an enjoyable experience for children. When a teacher encounters rebellious behavior, the important thing is to not become confrontational or argue with the child. Real problem solving never takes place when people are angry and engaged in conflict. The first task of the teacher is to calm down the immediate situation. Maintaining a dispassionate demeanor and speaking with a calm, normal volume voice, the teacher can respond with a statement such as, "Jamie, I understand what we're doing right now is not fun for you. Let's finish this activity and then we will all talk about activities that might be fun for the class." Once the situation has calmed down, the teacher then can proceed to suggest some ideas and invite the rebellious student and his and her classmates to choose among activities that are meaningful and fun for them. The most effective tactic in averting rebellious behavior is for a teacher to let her students know that she cares for them. A nurturing teacher is the most important element in creating a classroom atmosphere that is interesting, loving, and fun. When they are part of such a classroom, children will come to like themselves and to like school. Oh, and one last thing. Always remember when dealing with a misbehaving child to ask the question, what is this child's unmet need? Address that unmet need and the misbehavior will almost always disappear. Now let's take a look at the children's misbehavior chart. What is the unmet need of this child? If a child's actions seem to say, "This is no fun, I don't like doing this," and you feel guilty, "I'm not a good teacher, I need to do a better job of relating to my kids," then you're probably dealing with a rebellious child. The child is cranky and uncooperative and is difficult to be around. The child's unmet need is for the classroom experience to be more interesting and fun. What can you do? Help the children to see how some of the activities will teach them things that will be helpful to them. Use a sense of humor. Play games. Take the kids on fun, interesting outings.